Tonight's broadcast is made possible by Strack & Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Ironworkers Local 395, proud to be union. Four Seasons Mechanical, quality and comfort is our guarantee. Boilermakers Local 374, earn while you learn. IBEW Local 697, proud to support high school sports. Bricklayers Local 4, the best hands in the business. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. Blythe's Team Sports, where the athlete shops. And Hampton Inn, downtown Indianapolis. This is the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Tonight's batting lineups are sponsored by Great Lakes Sports Hub, combining world-class facilities, cutting-edge technologies, and community support into one unified platform for athlete development. So first with the team that we will see batting first, the Lake Central Indians. They enter with a record of 25-2 on the season. They are 13-1 in Duneland Athletic Conference play, taking the conference title this season. They are 11-1 in home games. I don't know where we'll classify this one, so we'll call it a neutral site game in which they are 4-0 in those type of contests. They have scored 312 runs this season while surrendering just 33. They have lost their last two games. Their only two losses of the season. One was a 2-1 loss to Chicago Marist, and the other was a loss last week to Valparaiso in their regular season finale, a 6-2 loss to the Vikings. So they will be looking to snap that mini losing streak as we now meet the lineups for the Indians. Michaela Van Vossen leads off and plays second base. Maddie Wainwright will be behind the plate. She bats second. Lexi Iwema will be playing shortstop, batting third. The cleanup hitter is Tegan Tripp. She will be occupying third base. Maddie Such is the DP to start things, but we will see her position altered as soon as the game begins. More on that later. She bats fifth. Sophia Beals will be at first base. She bats sixth. Emma Wilkins bats seventh, plays right field. Callie Ramirez plays left field, bats eighth. And Piper Urbanski rounds out the 1 through 9 while patrolling center field. So that is the lineup from Yvette Tovar. Now let's meet Jill Perez's starting lineup from Munster. The Mustangs entering with a record of 20-11 this season, 9-3 in Northwest Crossroads play. They are 2-2 in neutral site games. They have scored 233 runs this season while allowing just 117. They have won their last 4 games. Their lineup will be as follows. Melanie O'Connor will be the DP. She leads off. Allie Compton will be in the circle, batting second. Caroline Wedlinger will be the catcher. She bats third. Izzy Tristan will be the first baseman while batting cleanup. Kaylee O'Connell bats fifth, plays third. Alessandra Tovar is the center fielder. She'll bat out of the sixth spot. Caitlin Bochenik plays right, bats seventh. Caroline Sheehan will be playing short while batting eighth. Mia Almager will be rounding out the 1 through 9 while playing second base. Those are the starting lineups for the Mustangs of Munster. Now to meet the starting pitchers, it's time to introduce the starting pitchers for today's game. That means we'll turn to the Enigenberg Exteriors Home Improvement Hurlers for today, presented by Enigenberg Exteriors. For the Mustangs, they will send Allie Compton to the circle. She has a record of 14-4 on the year, a 187 earned run average over 24 appearances. She's logged 112 and a third innings in the circle. Compton has allowed 73 hits with 48 runs scored, 30 of which were earned. She has walked 48 batters to a whopping 211 strikeouts. Compton, the junior, will look to try to keep those Lake Central bats in check. While we mentioned in the starting lineup Lake Central, the pitcher on the lineup card will be Colby Tressel, but she will be then replaced by Maddie Such. It's a lineup tactic that allows a extra batter to return to the lineup, so Such starts the day as the DP, but she will then be the pitcher for the Indians. Her stats will be as follows. She is 12-1 on the year, a .91 ERA over 15 appearances in which she's thrown 69 and a third innings pitched. She has surrendered just 36 hits 13 runs have been scored against Such, 9 of which have been earned. In terms of walks, she has limited opposing batters to just 16 free passes while striking out 110 batters. So 2 pitchers that can really make opposing batters miss in the back. So they will have to try to get some good swings against Compton and Such. Those are your Enigenberg Exteriors home improvement hurlers for today's game. Enigenberg Exteriors, your all-in-one roofing specialist. Visit ebergexteriors.com for a quote. As we see both teams getting ready to take the field, this a big-time matchup here between LC and Munster. You have an experienced group in Lake Central with several big-time recruits that are seniors. They've been trying to make it out of the sectional round after a tough loss last year to Crown Point. So this is certainly an experienced team from LC. And then for Munster, a lot of underclassmen in this lineup, just one senior in their starting 9. The rest juniors, sophomores, and 2 freshmen in the 1 through 9 for Munster. So can the Mustangs, maybe with more youth on their side, provide a upset on paper against a experienced Lake Central group? This is certainly for Lake Central a challenging first game in the sectional round, whereas Munster was in action yesterday, picked up a 10-0 win over Hammond Central, so they got that first playoff game under the belt. Well, the Indians have been resting for about a week after their last game, which was a loss to Valparaiso, so we'll see which team can hit the ground running today. You see the coaches discussing the ground rules. We'll take a look at the game night forecast, which is brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Tonight's forecast in St. John, it is 64 degrees and cloudy, and the temperature's starting to drop a little bit. It feels like 58 degrees outside. Sunset expected around 8:14, so that will certainly allow temps to dwindle a little bit after that occurs, and the lights already starting to take effect. So a bit of a twilight start time here at Lake Central. And windy, a little bit of wind blowing across the diamond to the first base side. We saw that impact a couple fly balls in the earlier game this evening between Crown Point and Morden. So the conditions certainly a factor this evening. That's the game night forecast brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we will continue to set the stage for this sectional semifinal game between Lake Central and Munster. So stick around. You're watching Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Get Pulse Technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Have you heard? Stratford-Manteau was voted Best of the Region 2025 in several categories, including Best Caterer, Deli, Flower Shop, Food and Grocery Delivery, Fried Chicken, Place to Buy Produce, Place to Buy Seafood, Loyalty Program, and Grocery Store. We're proud to be recognized by our community, and we're committed to continuing to deliver the variety, value, and convenience you deserve. See for yourself what it means to be the best when you shop at Stratford-Manteau.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Pre-game continues here in the sectional semifinal here on the Region Sports Network. Setting the stage, we will see the introduction of the starting lineups momentarily. Lake Central and Munster meeting for the second time this season. If you have to go all the way back to March, can you believe we have made it this far into the calendar year already? March 24th, in the season opener, it was Lake Central picking up an 8-0 win over the Mustangs. So potentially one of these teams will have their season bookended with a matchup between LC and Munster, as that game was played at Munster. Now this one played at Lake Central, with Munster being the home team technically in both games. So a matchup too, if you go back into the history books, the last 5 seasons, well, this would be the 6th year in a row these two teams have met in the state tournament in the sectional round. Lake Central has won the last 5 meetings, so we'll see if Munster can rewrite history here. It was the Indians picking up a win last year, 9-4. They met twice last year. Both teams with impressive records in 2025. Lake Central 27-4 and Munster 26-6. We see the Indians being introduced on the field. They will be wearing their black uniforms, black jerseys with black pants, royal blue numbers outlined in white, and white blue socks to complete the ensemble, while the Mustangs on the other end of the field will be wearing the all-white uniforms, white jerseys, white pants with red pinstripes, red text across the front, red numbers on the back. So two very familiar color schemes between the Mustangs and the Indians. You see the Mustangs getting ready to take the field. That's one of the unique aspects of postseason play. One of the teams, let's say Munster, for example, being the home team on your rival's field, facing your rival. Not much changes, though. It's just softball as it goes, but you see that a lot in the state playoffs as the host team taking the first at-bats, trying to make sure they can hit the ground running, try to strike first, and start the day with a crooked number in the score column. So we will see which team can get things going here. And you have to think, with two prolific pitchers, two tough junior pitchers, by the way, in Compton and Such, it might not take a lot of runs to win this game. The chances to score will likely be few and far between. So that first time through the lineup will be crucial for each team to try to find what works against these pitchers. If they're falling into a rhythm, if they have a tell, or if they have a pitch that simply isn't working that day, you have to take advantage of it, because you will not have a lot of chances to try to impact the run column here today. You have Compton, the Indiana recruit, pitching for Munster, and then Such, a Kentucky recruit, pitching for Lake Central. So two of the top pitchers in the area, two of the top pitchers in the state taking the circle today. But these are two lineups with plenty of power up and down the lineup. This will be a fun one. We're happy you're here on a Thursday evening, turning into night here in St. John. It's a good night for softball, and especially a state tournament game. Two teams that are very familiar with each other, and we'll see what the next chapter in this rivalry has in store as Michaela Van Vossen gets ready to step into the left-handed batter's box. We're just about ready to play ball here. Compton, the right-hander in the circle, to Van Vossen, the left-hander at the plate. She winds and fires. The first pitch is called. A strike at 7:01, and we are underway. Van Vossen, the mainstay at the top of the order for Lake Central this season. She has frequently been on base, and that's what you like out of your leadoff hitter. Van Vossen, in a game against Hanover earlier in the year, set the program record for walks in a career. As the 1-1 from Compton is outside for a ball, we go 2-1, and you certainly appreciate that. Certainly for Van Vossen, a .453 average, 34 hits, 8 doubles, 4 triples, 5 home runs, 36 RBIs, but the fact that she can walk goes a long way. The 2-1 pitch elevated high in the air, foul but playable on the third base side. Calling for it is O'Connell, and she makes the snow cone catch for out number 1. So Van Vossen with a towering fly ball in foul territory, caught at third base by O'Connell. So that is out number 1. And now Maddie Wainwright will step in to bat for Lake Central. And we appreciate you following across whatever platform you may be joining us. If you're at the IHSAA Champions Network, you can find the video. If you're on the traditional Facebook and YouTube, this will be an audio-only broadcast. The first pitch from Compton, skipped back to the circle by Wainwright. She gathers and throws to first. 1 pitch, 1 out to retire Wainwright. Nicely done by the pitcher Compton to field her position. So Wainwright just swinging on top of that one, sent it to Compton on 2 bounces, and she was able to handle it and throw over. Here's Lexi Iwema, the left-handed hitting shortstop. Bats for Lake Central. She loads up with a big swing, but can't connect on the first pitch from Compton. A pair of future teammates meeting here. Compton and Iwema, both Indiana University recruits. The 0-1 from Compton, outside for a ball. We go 1-1. Iwema leads the state in home runs this season, so a lot of power in her bat. She has set a plethora of records here at Lake Central. Her 1-1 pitch, sliced foul on the third base side. This season, in the same home run, she set both the single season and career records in program history for LC. So she has made her mark on this program and looking to try to keep things rolling for her squad. She's behind in the count of ball and 2 strikes. Compton's pitch, outside. So we will now have 2s across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Compton and Iwema dueling here in the top of the first inning. Compton's 2-2 pitch rises, and Iwema can't catch up to it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A 1-2-3, top of the first inning. Nicely pitched by Allie Compton. Munster will have their first at-bats when we return. You're following Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
From the printer tray to the field, Pulse Technology keeps us moving. For more information about the heartbeat of the Region Sports Network, visit Pulse Technology on the web at pulsetechnology.com. So Maddie Such gets ready to take the circle for Lake Central. She'll be opposing O'Connor, Compton, and Wendlinger from Munster after it was a scoreless top of the first inning for the Indians. We'll see now how the Mustangs can follow things up Compton, who threw very well in the circle, will bat second. The first pitch to O'Connor, a check swing. She did not go far enough. So Such gets ready for the next pitch with the count 1-0. O'Connor taps it back to the fence for a foul ball. We go 1-1. O'Connor, the DP tonight, a freshman, being tasked with setting the tone out of the leadoff spot. That's a huge sign of trust for a freshman right-handed batter. The 1-1 pitch. O'Connor takes it through the middle of the infield. It rolls to center field. It's a base hit for the freshman to open the game for Munster, and that shows why Jill Perez trusts O'Connor so much in her first season of high school ball, being able to face one of the top pitchers in the area and start the game with a single. Here's Allie Compton, tonight's starting pitcher for Munster, batting. Bats right-handed as the first pitch squeaks out of the glove of Wainwright. That will allow O'Connor to motor over to second base. So now she is in scoring position, but you think about the old Joe Madden saying about Dexter Fowler, the you go, we go approach of a leadoff hitter, and that's kind of what O'Connor demonstrating here. If she can get on base, that helps everybody behind her as the 1-0 pitch is inside, and it clips Compton at the elbow, so she's hit by a pitch, and the first two batters are on base for Munster. O'Connor singles, and then Compton catches one at the elbow. So the plot thickens here in the bottom of the first inning. The first two batters are on base, and now Caroline Wendlinger up to bat for the Mustangs. Wendlinger, the catcher, a Iowa recruit. You have to avoid making a mistake against her. Wendlinger with 5 home runs on the season. A lot of pop in that bat. 41 hits helping pace the Mustang offense. 13 doubles as well. She's driven in 26 runs, and she has a chance to add a couple more to that total with O'Connor at second and Compton at first. Such gets ready to work. Her first pitch, high for a ball, starts the count 1-0. And for Maddie Such, a junior pitcher, she's been in these spots before, pitching with runners on base. So we'll see how she can lock in here. The 1-0 is just low for a ball, so now the count 2-0 against a powerful batter in Wendlinger, and trying to avoid leaving anything hanging over the plate. So she tried to go low there. The 2-0 pitch. Wendlinger elevates it high, foul towards the shed to our right for a foul ball, makes it a 2-1 count. Such trying to battle back into this at-bat. 2 balls and a strike. Nobody out in this half inning for Munster. The 2-1 pitch is once again played foul towards the right side, and again off the roof of the shed to our right. That will even the count 2-2. Just like that, Such has made the count even, 2 apiece here, looking for the first out against Wendlinger. On the breakthrough pitch, it's just high for a ball, so we'll go full. Third base is open. There are runners at first and second, but for the Indians, trying to avoid loading the bases after O'Connor singled and Compton was hit by a pitch. Wendlinger steps back into the right-handed batter's box. Such gets the sign from Wainwright. The 3-2. Dropped into right field. O'Connor gets to third base. She's going for the plate. The throw to Wainwright. Not in time. O'Connor scores. Then Wainwright throws a strike down the third base line to erase Compton. And then crawling into second base is Wendlinger. The Mustangs get a run across the plate. They will strike first. Caroline Wendlinger puts the Stangs on the board. A lot to break down on that play as Wendlinger, with the RBI single, advances to second on the throw. O'Connor scoring from second base, and then Compton, who was trying to go from first to third, was thrown out by Wainwright That's a heads-up play by Wainwright, the catcher, to realize there was still an out to be made there, to throw down the line and at least turn one out. But Wendlinger then realizes she could scoot forward to second during all that chaos. And the 1-0 pitch to Tristan, a big swing and a miss on one that was tailing away from her. So an RBI for Wendlinger, an out recorded on the play. The count is 1-1 with one out and a runner on second base. The breakthrough pitch from Such knocked foul out past the backstop, so we go 1-2. For the Mustangs now, you have to think with one run in already and only one out, you could crank up the pressure here with Wendlinger in scoring position. The pitch to Tristan. Outside, we go 2-2. Isabella Tristan, the freshman batting here for Munster. One of two freshmen in the starting nine. O'Connor, who scored the first run, is the other. The 2-2 sails past Wainwright and gets to the backstop. It allows Wendlinger to advance to third base. So the Mustangs continue to threaten here. Wendlinger goes from second to third. The count full at 3-2 to Tristan. Such prepares for the payoff pitch. Here it is. It will be called strike three. So Tristan, caught looking, will head back to the dugout. That's the second out, and that's a big out for Such to get to with the runner at third base to get an out without putting the ball in play. That allows her to keep moving here, and then she fires a fastball high to Kaylee O'Connell. O'Connell ahead 1-0 in the count. O'Connell, the junior, playing third base today. Here's the 1-0. Check swing. Did she go? She did not. That makes it a 2-0 count. But what a start in the bottom of the first inning it has been for Munster. After some good pitching in the top half by Compton, they've been able to drive in one run, the 2-0. Heater inside makes it a 3-0 count. But to put a run on the board against one of the top pitchers in the state in Maddie Such, that's a good way to start the game. Here's the 3-0. High and away, it's a ball, a 4-pitch walk to O'Connell. So the Mustangs will now have runners at the corners with 2 outs. They might not be done yet, as Alessandra Tovar bats with runners at first and third, 2 outs. For Lake Central, there's a variety of ways you could work your way out of this jam. As we look down to the left field bullpen, see Jada Lewis getting loose. That could be maybe a precautionary precaution at this point, as Such delivers a first pitch strike. But knowing it's a postseason game, season on the line, you need to be ready to go to a fresh arm if needed. The 0-1, she waves over it, makes it 0-2, but talk about Such. She's the most experienced pitcher on this staff. A junior, has been a multi-year varsity starter. She's been in these spots before where you've given up runs early, and you know how to just bounce back from it. The 0-2, skipped back to Such at the circle. She vacuums it up, throws over to first in time to retire Tovar. So Such finishes off the inning after Munster is able to drive in 1 run on 2 hits. We're through 1. It's Munster leading 1-0 over Lake Central. You're following Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
Ordering groceries has never been easier with online shopping at Strack and Van Til. Save time and money, in-store sale prices, pickup or delivery, online coupons, reward points, and more. Shop strackandvantil.com today. Start of inning number 2. Tegan Tripp leads off for Lake Central as Compton winds and fires. Sends the fastball, and Tripp just can't get to it to start the count 0-1. Tripp, a Virginia Tech recruit, will look to try to help her team bounce back after Munster was able to drive in a run in the bottom of the first inning. Compton's 0-1 pitch is high for a ball. Tripp bats .539 on the season, 48 hits, tied for the team lead in that category, 7 home runs and 42 RBIs. The 1-1 pitch, Tripp lines it to third base where O'Connell flashes the leather and makes the catch for out number 1. So Tripp got a hold of one, sent it screaming towards third base, but a quick shuffle to the left, and O'Connell gets the glove there for the first out. Not much time to react, but O'Connell getting the job done. Here is Maddie Such batting for Lake Central with 1 down, nobody on base. Such fouls the first pitch back to the fence, and while Such up to bat here, we like to recognize to Mary Lou Such, who's watching her great-granddaughter, Maddie Such, play here. Always cool to get feedback and some kind words from Mary Lou watching Maddie play. So we appreciate her reaching out to us and some positive feedback as well. So we'll see what Maddie can do here at the plate with the count 2-1. Such sends it opposite field. It will skip its way into right field, and she will reach base. So the pitcher helping her own cause with a 1-out single. She's the first base runner of the day for Lake Central, and now she will provide some help for Sophia Beals. And that was a play where Such really had to hustle down the first base line because Bochenik got to it quickly and threw a dart to first base, nearly catching to Such, but she was able to beat the throw. And now we will see McKenna Fazio pinch running for Such at first base, the courtesy runner for the pitcher Such. Here's Beals, takes the first pitch high. Beals, a couple weeks ago in the Lake Central Crown Point game played here at LC, hit one of the furthest home runs we've seen this season, a 3-run blast. She takes the 1-0 just above the fists. It will drop in shallow left field, so the line keeps moving for Lake Central. Back-to-back singles. Beals is aboard, and Fazio goes from first to second. Here's Emma Wilkins batting with a couple friends on base and only 1 out for the Indians after giving up that run in the last half inning. They could make up for it quickly here with 2 aboard and Wilkins batting. Wilkins playing right field defensively. Compton gets ready and fires. Wilkins with a big swing but can't quite line it up. It's a swinging strike to open the count. Compton, who executed a very quick 1-2-3 inning in the first inning, now finds herself in a bit of a jam here with runners at first and second. Her 0-1 pitch takes a little something off it, drops it to the outer corner for a strike. Wilkins didn't offer, so it's 0-2. The leadoff batter Tripp lined out to third base to open the inning. Then Such and Beals each recorded singles. The 0-2 is outside, makes it a 1-2 count. So the junior right-hander Compton working in the circle, trying to find a way to put some outs on the board with a couple of runners on base. Her 1-2 pitch is just in the zone for strike 3, sending Wilkins to the dugout with a backwards K. That's a big second out to get for Compton. A strikeout keeps everybody put. Now it's up to Callie Ramirez to keep the party going for Lake Central. Ramirez swings and misses at the first pitch. We saw Ramirez hit her first career home run in that 9-0 win over Crown Point a couple weeks ago. That was a good swing from Ramirez. And a big win that clinched the Duneland for LC. And then a fastball right over the plate makes it an 0-2 count. No swing from Ramirez. She'll have to look to get defensive here with Fazio and Beals on base. Now the 0-2 pitch. High for a ball. Ramirez with a good take. Keeps the count going. A ball and 2 strikes. But Ramirez, often used for her defense, now finds herself looking to try to introduce herself to the game with the bat. Timeout called, so she'll step out of the box. Ramirez bats .310 on the year with 9 hits, a double, a triple, and a home run. The 1-2 pitch, she swings through it for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts by Compton. She'll sneak her way out of a jam, leaving 2 runners stranded as we will head to the bottom of the second inning with Munster leading 1-0. You're following softball night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
IBEW Local 697 isn't just wiring buildings. We're woven into the very fabric of Northwest Indiana. We're your neighbors. Our kids go to school with yours. We stand in the same bleachers cheering for the same high school teams. When you hire a union electrician, you're not just getting the highest quality work. You're supporting our community. IBEW Local 697, proudly powering our own.
Sometimes the hardest part of improving your business isn't coming up with a great idea. It's knowing what to do with it. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services is ready to meet all your industrial and commercial construction needs. Whether it's a small build-out or a complete construction project, Chester will design, build, and finance. Our team eliminates multiple contractors, providing you a single point of contact while staying within your budget. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services, turning your ideas into realities.
Caitlin Bochenik leads off the bottom of the second where she sends a long fly ball down the left field line, but it curls foul into the trees and into a backyard next door. So it's a long strike to start the count 0-1 against Such. And the 0-1 pitch dots the corner for a strike. Such ahead 0-2. Lake Central left 2 runners on base to end the top half of this inning. They'll look to try to make sure that doesn't come back to hurt them here in the bottom half. The 0-2 pitch inside, and it rolls to the backstop, just avoids making contact with Bochenik, the right fielder. Bats .253 on the season. So Bochenik with a ball and 2 strikes in the count, a junior outfielder. Waits for the 1-2 from Such. She swings through it for strike 3. That will be the first out of this inning. So Such, the junior right-hander, looking to shake off things after that first inning in which the Mustangs were able to capitalize on an early single and a hit by pitch with an RBI single from Wendlinger, as bunt is shown by Caroline Sheehan, but she was under it and skies it over the backstop towards the press box. Not what you hope for on a bunt when you're trying to put it towards the turf, but a good distance on that one. I'd be interested to see the launch angle as she played that one high in the air above the bleachers and towards the press level. It makes the count 0-1 to Sheehan, the shortstop. Sheehan, the lone senior in the lineup today, shows bunt again, but the pitch was low and away, so she pulled away. Evens the count up at 1-1. Such will wind and fire. The 1-1 pitch, jab towards third base, but it rolls foul. Another bunt attempt by Sheehan, but it breaks foul. Now she will have to try to lock in after that one impacted the turf and then spun away. Foul on the third base line. So it is Sheehan batting and behind in the count 1-2. After initially showing bunt, she will load up here. The 1-2, instead she pulls up, and it's a strike at the corner. She is caught looking. Back-to-back strikeouts for Such to open the second inning. It will now be up to Mia Almager to work here with 2 outs. Nobody on base. Almager, the 9-hitter in the lineup. So she will try to get the top of the order back up here. The sophomore playing second base today. Shows bunt again, but this one is over the backstop towards the crowd. Aaron Svetlin, our camera operator, extended his hand trying to make the catch, but it was out of his reach. So it'll be a long foul ball again. Back-to-back foul balls. Back-to-back batters that have sent foul balls over the backstop on bunts. So that shows Such throwing it over their bats. The 0-1, another bunt attempt. She is hanging over it. This time it breaks inside, so the count 0-2 to Almager. And that can be tricky as a pitcher when you know the batter's trying to lay down a bunt. You want to try to put it in a place where it will be difficult for them to reach. The 0-2, strike 3. Such strikes out the side. They will head to the third inning. Munster, nothing to show for this half inning as it is a 1-0 lead for the Mustangs after 2. You're following Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at forajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4, ajobdoneright.com.
You ready? Let's go! Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, and 100% reason to remember the name.
Your future starts
here.
First pitch from Compton is low and away. To keep up with all things Region Sports, be sure to check us out on our social media pages. We are always active on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, and at our website at regionsports.com. Compton's next pitch is low for a ball to Urbanski. Celebrating over 25 years, we are proud to still be the only game in town. Piper Urbanski leads off the top of the third inning, looking to reach base and help the Indians as they are down 1-0. Urbanski stays away from the 2-0 pitch, but it just finds the corner, makes it 2-1. Allie Compton still pitching well for Munster as she was able to work her way out of trouble in the second. And now we'll try to battle back into this at-bat against Urbanski. The 2-1 finds the outer third for a strike. She was just able to drop an off-speed pitch to that far third against the left-handed batter Urbanski. Evens the count up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The windup from Compton sends a fastball low and away. We'll go full at 3-2. Urbanski began to step towards it, but it was away. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. We'll find out who will win this at-bat with the payoff pitch. Here it is. It's a low ball, a ball. It will be a walk to Urbanski, so the leadoff batter is on base. Urbanski executes her 20th walk of the season. It brings the top of the order up for the Indians. Here's the DePaul recruit, Michaela Van Vossen, playing second base. She waits for the first pitch from Compton. A lot of Lake Central and region connections with that DePaul softball program. Former Lake Central outfielder Jolie Adams just recorded the highest batting average by a Blue Demon in the last 10 years in this past season. The 1-0 swung over by Van Vossen, so Van Vossen set to join Adams in Lincoln Park next spring. Exciting to see those two team up at the next level. Here's the 1-1 from Compton. Outside, it's a ball, makes it a 2-1 count. So after Urbanski walked, Van Vossen, who's a patient hitter at the plate, is ahead 2-0. 22 walks on the season for Van Vossen. She flew out a foul on the third base side to open this game. Compton's 2-1 pitch, Van Vossen just gets it above the hands and fouls it to the fence on the third base side, evening the count up at 2-2. Compton stares towards her catcher, Wendlinger. Gets the sign. Here's the breakthrough pitch. Van Vossen cues it off the bat. It curls down the left field line and lands foul. Foul and rolls towards the corner. So a long foul ball from Van Vossen. Just a little bit behind on that one. We'll see if she can straighten one out with the count even at 2 apiece. Van Vossen bats with Urbanski at first base. Nobody out here in the top of the third inning. The windup from Compton is at the corner for a strike. Strike 3 will send Van Vossen to the dugout looking. The 4th strikeout of the ball game for Compton. That was a close one at the corner. Here's Maddie Wainwright, the junior catcher for Lake Central. Shows bunt, pokes it towards the first base side. It skips just away from Compton, and Wainwright flies down the first base line. She's aboard. Urbanski moves over to second base. So that one off the bat from Wainwright took a favorable hop as Compton was starting to circle towards it. It then hit the turf and corkscrewed away from Compton, so she really didn't have a play to make there. Wainwright reaches on the bunt, so now runners are at first and second, and only one out, so familiar spot for Lake Central. They were in this exact spot last half inning, but back-to-back strikeouts would stifle that rally, and nobody would score. So Wainwright is at first. She will be replaced with a courtesy runner. That's Caitlin Streiler, and then Urbanski is at second base. Here's Lexi Iwema set to bat against Compton. So Compton and Iwema are 2 of the 3 Indiana recruits in this lineup. The other one, Maddie Wainwright, just reached base. Iwema stays away from the first pitch from Compton. It's a ball. The count 1-0. So to spot in the lineup where Compton facing 2 of her future teammates. The 1-0. Iwema fouls it to the fence, but that's a spot where you want to get the upper hand, especially in a playoff game. When you're all on campus somewhere down the line, you always have those bragging rights. You can hold it over their heads for some time, and I'm sure the details become more dramatic as more time passes. Now the 1-1 pitch to Iwema. Fouled to the fence. We go 1-2, but and then certainly, after competing against each other for so long, you get to campus together and you take a little bit of joy knowing, oh, I don't have to bat against Compton anymore. She's on my side. Or I don't have to pitch against Wainwright anymore. Instead, we're teammates. And that's a good feeling to have, certainly. The 1-2 pitch is high, evens the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Only 1 out in the inning. Urbanski is the runner at second base. Streiler at first. The left-handed batting Iwema is trying to help Lake Central get on the board here in the top of the third inning. The 2-2 pitch is high and away. We'll go full. So a lengthy at-bat between Compton and Iwema. It's going the distance here. Iwema leads the way for Lake Central with 57 RBIs. She bats with 2 friends on base here. She takes the payoff pitch, elevating towards left field, and a sliding catch is made by Staley for out number 2. And that was a big one. Staley racing in, had to extend the glove forward, made the catch, and then tumbled down to the turf. Nobody advances. A good catch by Staley. Keeps everybody in place. It's one of the top defensive plays we've seen thus far. That's up to Teague and Tripp now with runners at first and second and 2 outs. The first pitch to Tripp is a fastball for a strike. That could have been trouble if it landed, as it was just above the hands for Iwema. So she couldn't drive it too far, but was able to get it to carry towards left field. Staley had to charge in and made the catch for the second out. The next pitch is high for a ball, evens the count at 1-1. So Staley, the freshman left fielder, with one of the biggest plays of the game so far. With the count knotted up at 1-1, Tripp waits for this next delivery from Compton. And she'll foul it to the fence. Falls behind 1-2. The Indians left 2 runners on base in the second inning. They're looking to avoid a repeat performance here in the third, especially with this part of the lineup batting. The cleanup batter, Tripp, works here. Now the 1-2 from Compton. Tripp skies it foul towards the baseball field on the first base side. So the count remains 1-2. Couple fans go chasing, trying to get a souvenir as that one continues to roll further and further away from the concourse. So Compton takes a moment to collect herself, gets ready for the 1-2. It's high. Will even the count at 2-2. A good take from Tripp, not falling for that one as it started to rise. Just stayed away, and we'll look to make something happen here with this next pitch. Tripp, it's with 42 RBIs on the season, has 2 teammates on base here. Now the 2-2. It's low, and it skips past the catcher, allowing both Streiler and Urbanski to scoot forward 60 feet each. Streiler ends up on second base, and Urbanski now 1 station away from scoring. She's at third. Urbanski started the inning with a walk. Streiler replaced Wainwright as a courtesy runner. She reached on a bunt. They are at second and third. The count is full to Tripp. The payoff pitch from Compton. Tripp laces it through the middle of the infield. Urbanski cruises across first place. Going for the plate is Streiler. She will score. It's a 2 RBI single for Teagan Tripp, and Lake Central takes the lead 2-1. So some clutch hitting by Tripp with 2 outs and the count full. She gets a hold of that one, takes it to center field, and brings in Streiler and Urbanski to score. The game has changed. It's a 2-1 lead for Lake Central. For Tripp, those are RBIs number 43 and 44 on the season. Maddie Such will look to try to help out her own cause as she fouls away the first pitch from Compton. Such, the pitcher for Lake Central, now bats with the game dramatically changing, a 2-1 lead for her team, and a chance for more with Tripp over at first base. The 0-1 is outside. It's a ball. We go even at 1-1. Such had a single in the second inning, but was left stranded at second base. She stays away from the 1-1 as it was upstairs for a ball. So 2 balls and a strike to Such. And just the approach here this inning by Lake Central, a few lengthy at-bats to some veteran batters, and they've been able to make Compton have to work here. And it's just been good situational hitting. A single from Tripp that was able to bring in 2 runs. Maybe not the deep fly ball you sometimes dream of in those spots, but it gets the same result. A hard hit single that was maybe just above the turf, rolls out to center field and brings in 2. The 2-1 pitch to Such is outside, and it's now a 3-1 count favoring the batter. Such looking to reach base for the second time in this game. Compton looking to get out of this inning and get her team's bats back up as Such calls time, steps out of the box. Now she's back. The 3-1 pitch. She skies it towards left center field, carrying to the fence, where ranging over and making the catch, Tovar gets it to her glove. That will end the top half of the inning. But Lake Central does some damage on a 2 RBI single from Tripp. We head to the bottom of the third inning with Lake Central leading 2-1. You're following softball night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With offices in Munster and Cedar Lake, Ethos Dental Group offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, dental care you can believe in.
Looking to score great deals on sports and fitness gear? Shop local at Play It Again Sports Maryville. We have new and quality used equipment for baseball, softball, golf, hockey, fitness, and more. Plus, turn your old gear into cash on the spot or create your own discount with store credit for even better deals. Whether you're training, competing, or just getting started, your locally owned Play It Again Sports keeps you in the game.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man superhero of the game. Crowell Companies, the business professionals. Bottom three here at Lake Central, and it's the Indians, the visitors in today's game, that lead 2-1 as Such sends a first pitch low for a ball. Top of the order back up for Munster. Melanie O'Connor, who singled and scored in the first inning, returns to the plate. The 1-0. It is just high for a ball, makes it a 2-0 count. And for Lake Central, showing just the experience of this team, how they were able to, after trailing to start the game, didn't really seem fazed by that, just continued to bounce back, stack up quality at-bats, as this one is lifted to the right side of the infield, where Van Vossen will camp out under it to make the catch for the first out. O'Connor swings under that pitch, plays it very high in the air, but it eventually finds its way back down to earth where Van Vossen was waiting for it to make the catch. Now it will be Allie Compton batting, but for Lake Central, just able to string together several quality at-bats, and then it was Tegan Tripp with the big swing, bringing in 2 runs to help the Indians take the lead. And now we'll see how they play with a 1-run lead against the top of the order from Munster. Compton was hit by a pitch and then thrown out going for third base. Was thrown out by Wainwright, and then a good play made by Tripp at third. She fouls away the next pitch, so she's behind 0-2 in the count. Such gets the sign from Wainwright, goes to the plate. The 0-2 is a little high, just above the shoulder, so makes it a 1-2 count. A ball and 2 strikes. The pitch from Such gets to the corner for strike 3. She catches Compton looking. It's the 5th strikeout of the day for Such. She struck out the side in the second inning and now picks up a strikeout for the second out here in the third. And it'll be up to Caroline Wendlinger. Wendlinger put the Mustangs on the board by bringing O'Connor across the plate with an RBI single in the first inning. But she works in a much different spot here with 2 outs and the bases empty. Wendlinger, an Iowa recruit, part of several Division I and various other college recruits in this ball game between both sides. The matchup here with 2 of the top teams in the state, and just so many players that will be going on to play at the next level. With the count 1-1 here, which makes it even more impressive when you see both of these teams with the strong records, knowing that for the first playoff game, it's going to be a battle here. The 1-1 is lifted foul, and it doesn't get any easier. The winner of this game, they have to face Crown Point, the number 2 team in the 4A Coaches Bowl. and they picked up a big 14-0 win over Morden earlier today. So a very tough sectional here at Lake Central. The 1-2 pitch from Such. Golf towards right field. It skips to Wilkins, and Wendlinger is aboard with a 2-out single. Keeps the inning going here in the third. So she was able to go low to get that one and then drive it opposite field to right. That puts Wendlinger on bait as Tristan will bat now. So here's Tristan. And the freshman playing first base today will take a first pitch strike from Such to open the at-bat. And then the next at-bat, the next pitch from Tristan fouled back to the fence, so she's behind 0-2. It was one of Yvette Tovar's pregame keys, was living postseason softball one pitch at a time and playing loose. I think we've certainly seen that from Lake Central here, as they just seem to bounce back after every pitch that doesn't go their way, as Such gets a 3-pitch strikeout to Tristan. She's up to 6 strikeouts in the game. That will end the third inning, and leaving a runner stranded at first base. We're through 3. It's Lake Central leading over Munster 2-1. It's softball night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At Blyce, we're used to having the athlete shop at our store.
Down, sit, put.
But sometimes they get carried away. Blyce, this is where the athlete shops.
Located in the heart of downtown Indianapolis, the newly renovated Hampton Inn is within walking distance to over 30 restaurants and attractions, including Lucas Oilfield and Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a fitness center. Why wait? Make your reservations today. Call 317-261-1200 or make them on the web at hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
Sophia Beals leads off the fourth inning for Lake Central as Compton delivers a pitch just over the plate. Beals swings over it and knocks it down, rolling it foul along the third base line. At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. Beals singled in her last at-bat. Did not advance. She will stay away from the next pitch, but it finds the corner for a strike, the outer corner. So Beals behind 0-2, trying to make something happen here against Compton. 2 runs on 4 hits for Lake Central in this game. 1 run on 3 hits for Munster as the 0-2 pitch is outside to Beals, makes it a 1-2 count. Talked about it a little earlier. Beals had just a towering home run against Crown Point earlier in the season. The 1-2 pitch to Beals. She lofts this one high towards the backstop, and it will go past the fence into the bleachers. So no play to be made by Wendlinger. But that home run by Beals against the Bulldogs, that went to the upper branches of the tree out in left center field. It would have carried further, but made impact with the tree and was knocked back down. But one of the biggest home runs we've seen this season on the softball diamond. The 1-2 to Beals is outside. The count goes even at 2-2. So Beals has worked her way even in this count after being behind at 0-2. Compton communicating with Wendlinger for the next pitch. Winds up at the circle and fires. Beals slices the 2-2 high and foul towards the third base dugout. And it is out of the concourse towards one of the backyards near the third base side. I wonder how often between the practices and the various games do the people that live in the neighborhood go into your backyard and see a softball or two in your yard. And Or do the players then hop the fence, go retrieve the ball like the Sandlot? I don't know, but it'd be an interesting case study. Just if you live in one of those houses by the softball complex here, how often do you end up with a souvenir in your backyard over the course of a spring season? Anyway, here's the 2-2 pitch from Compton. It is inside to Beals. She has worked the count full at 3-2. Beals was initially behind 0-2, but has brought it full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Compton battling against Beals. Now the payoff pitch. Called strike 3 at the corner. That will start the inning with a strikeout. Beals heads back to the dugout. And for Compton, that's 5 strikeouts. And that, for Beals, thought she had ball 4. Instead, it's called strike 3. So that will send her back to the dugout. Wilkins takes the first pitch for a strike. Wilkins was also a strikeout victim against Compton. She'll look to get a different result here in the top of the 4th inning. Now the 0-1 pitch is in the upper portion of the zone. It's above the zone for a ball. I was trying to find a way to describe that one and just lost my train of thought. But anyway, here's the next offering between Compton and the junior Wilkins. Wilkins goes after it but can't connect. It's a swinging strike, so the count a ball and 2 strikes. A good rise ball from Compton that Wilkins tried to climb the ladder with but just couldn't get to it. And Wilkins chases the next pitch, the 1-2. Can't get to it. Back-to-back strikeouts for Compton. There are now 2 outs in the inning and nobody on base. Callie Ramirez will bat, looking to try to reach after back-to-back Lake Central batters have gone back to the dugout with a strikeout. Compton has matched Such with 6 strikeouts in the game. Both starting pitchers have thrown very well, as that will be a ball to start the count. A ball in a similar spot to the strike 3 call from Beals, but a ball this time around. Now the 1-0. Ramirez loads up, swings, but cannot get to it. That's a strike. The count even up, and a ball and a strike. Ramirez struck out swinging to end the 2nd inning. At that point, it extinguished a rally with runners at 1st and 2nd. Now she's in a different spot with the count 1-1, and the next pitch drops into the corner for a strike. We go 1-2. So the count 1-2 to Ramirez. Here's Compton's 1-2 pitch. Just misses. She's been looking to that outer corner against these right-handed batters. That one just away from that spot. And now 2s will be wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Compton's breakthrough pitch. Ramirez can't get to it. A swing and a miss for strike 3. Compton will strike out the side. We will head to the bottom of the 4th inning with Lake Central leading 2-1. It's softball night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Get Pulse technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
Have you heard? Stratford-Manto was voted Best of the Region 2025 in several categories, including Best Caterer, Deli, Flower Shop, Food and Grocery Delivery, Fried Chicken, Place to Buy Produce, Place to Buy Seafood, Loyalty Program, and Grocery Store. We're proud to be recognized by our community, and we're committed to continuing to deliver the variety, value, and convenience you deserve. See for yourself what it means to be the best when you shop at Stratford-Manto.
Maddie Such winds and fires to O'Connell, who who fouls it away to start the bottom of the fourth inning with a foul ball. Count 0-1. Stay with us after the game when we'll name the proud-to-be Union play of the game presented by Ironworkers Local 395. The 0-1 from Such finds the corner for a strike. We go 0-2. To find out how you can become a Union Ironworker, visit ironworkers395.com. O'Connell will be followed by Tovar and Bochenik to lead off the fourth inning. The Mustangs have some work to do, trailing 2-1, as O'Connor plays it high and foul and again towards the backyards, but a catch made by a fan near the backyard fence. But the count will remain 0-2 to O'Connell, who walked in the first inning. That helped crank up the pressure, but then Such was able to work her way out of that jam in which the Mustangs would leave two runners on base to end the first. Here's the 0-2. Check swing. Did she go? She did. It's a strikeout. Such retires O'Connell. So Such has matched Compton. Each pitcher has 7 strikeouts in the game. This has been a well-pitched game from Such and Compton. 4 hits for Lake Central, 3 for Munster. The Indians lead 2-1. The first pitch from Such for Tovar is high for ball 1. Tovar had that ground out to the circle where Such was able to help out her own cause by throwing over to first to end the inning with those 2 runners stranded. The 1-0 pitch sees Tovar play it off the end of the bat towards the Munster dugout where it will carry out of play. A good crowd on hand today. It's the bleachers are full and then plenty of fans lining up along the fences on each baseline. A good atmosphere for the sectional semifinal, and plenty of fans wearing both teams' colors, royal blue for Lake Central, red for Munster. The 1-1 is low. We'll go 2-1 to Tovar, and also in the first couple rows of the bleachers behind home plate are the Crown Point Bulldogs doing some scouting as they will face the winner of this game tomorrow evening. The 2-1 pitch from Such is low for a ball, makes it a 3-1 count. First pitch for that one is scheduled for 5 o'clock. We will have the coverage across all of the same platforms you found this game, Facebook, YouTube, and the IHSAA Champions Network. The 3-1 pitch from Such finds the zone. We go full at 3-2, but a good atmosphere today, and that's what I always love about postseason sports, where you have double headers at the same site when you see the team that just played or the teams that are about to play hanging around and watching the other games. The 3-2 pitch skips along the first base line where Beals is able to get in front of it, collects it, and then steps on the cushion for out number 2. So it's a chopper to first base where Beals does it all, gets to it, and then steps on first for the second out. So Caitlin Bochenik is the last hope for Munster here in the bottom of the fourth inning. With her team trailing 2-1, there are 2 outs and nobody on base. Such winds. Bochenik cracks it down the the third base line, where it then rattles into the Lake Central bullpen. So a long strike 1 from Bochenik. And she'll look to step back into the batter's box. And then a fan tried to make the catch there, but didn't quite get to it. So waiting to see if that fan is all right. And so now it looks like everybody will go back to their spots. The count 0-1 to Bochenik. Such fires, was looking for the corner of the zone, but didn't quite get the call she was looking for. Was looking for that upper corner on the outer third. So it evens the count up at a ball and a strike. The 1-1 from Such, and Bochenik with a check swing, and it catches the home plate umpire. Looks like he is okay. Waiting to see. Oh, no, he will have a quick discussion with the first place umpire. I think they're looking to determine what the call is, because Bochenik brought the bat forward and then it went over the glove of Wainwright and hit the umpire. And I think that's what they're determining. Understandably, I don't know if the home plate umpire saw it as he was looking to get out of the way. So what was the call there? I'm looking to see if he made a signal. He's talking to Bochenek, and did he signal whether that was a ball or a strike? I think they're just... It's a 1-2 count, so it was a strike. There we go. The 1-2 from Such is outside. That will even the count up at 2-2, but a bit of a scary sequence as the home plate umpire caught made contact with the ball as it was trying to get out of the way, and then it was called a strike. So 2 balls, 2 strikes in the count, 2 outs. Bochenek looking to keep the inning going for Munster. Such with the windup. Bochenek skies it foul towards the first base side where it will carry out a play. So keep the at-bat rolling here. The count remains 2-2. The Munster dugout making some noise, trying to help motivate Bochenek here as they're down by a run in the middle portion of the game. The lights starting to take effect as the sun continues to set. It's a good night for softball here as the temperatures in the low 60s continue to dip a little bit, but a good atmosphere here at Lake Central. Now Such with a 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Her 8th strikeout of the game ends the 4th inning. Bochenek caught looking to end the 4th. Lake Central stays ahead 2-1 after 4. You're following softball night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Top 5 at Lake Central. Piper Urbanski leads off for Lake Central. She fouls one away towards the third base side to start the count 0-1 against Compton. It'll be Urbanski, and then the top of the order, due up for LC, Van Vossen and Wainwright will follow Urbanski here. The 0-1 outside evens the count at 1-1. To keep up with all things Region Sports, be sure to check us out on our social media pages. We are always active on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, and at our website at regionsports.com. Celebrating over 25 years, we are proud to still be the only game in town. Compton gets ready for the breakthrough pitch. Here it is. Urbanski shows bunt. She steps into it, but it's over and was trying to pull away. They call down the first baseline. We'll say she didn't go far enough for a attempted bunt there, so it will be a ball. The count goes 2-1. Compton's next pitch is low and away to Urbanski. The count now 3-1. So Urbanski, who walked and scored in the second inning, or in the third inning, pardon me, is on the verge of walking again here with 3 balls and a strike in this count. Compton delivers towards the plate. A check swing poked towards third base where O'Connell is there, throws across the diamond to retire Urbanski. So Urbanski, not what she was hoping for there, as she just brought the bat halfway forward, and it goes right off her bat, caroms to O'Connell at third base, who was positioned well to throw as soon as she gathered, and then beat Urbanski by several steps for out number 1. Here's Michaela Van Vossen in the top of the order. Van Vossen skips it to Compton, throws it to first base. It pulls Tristan off the base, but then she applies the tag on Van Vossen, so she's out anyway. The throw was high, but nice job. An acrobatic play at first base by Tristan to reach up in the air, tried to keep her back foot on the bag. It pulled her away, but she kept her momentum going towards the base path to tag Van Vossen. So an unconventional play maybe at first base by Tristan, but either way she gets the out as a first pitch strike called to Wainwright. Wainwright, the Indiana commit, facing her future teammate in Compton. So far it's been Wainwright who singled and scored an RBI, or a infield single, a bunt in the third inning, and then was brought home on Tripp's RBI single. And now time is called. There will be a gathering at the circle between Wendlinger and Compton, but circling back, that was a good play at first base by the freshman Tristan, being able to hang on, not letting that throw evade her, and just able to get that tag, even if she was off the base, to make the play against Van Vossen. The count is 0-1 to Wainwright. Compton winds and fires. The next pitch is low in the dirt for a ball. We go 1-1. But Wainwright has been one of those leaders all season, both defensively and offensively, for Lake Central, batting out of the 2 spot just about every game. Looking to help her team get some distance here with a 2-1 lead. She waves over the off-speed delivery, falls behind 1-2 in the count. Compton pulled the string on that one. It was low and then started to spin away from the right-handed batter. It was an off-speed pitch, a well-executed one. So now Compton ahead in the count, a ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Wainwright goes after the 1-2, can't get to it. It's a strikeout. The 8th strikeout for Compton ends the top of the 5th inning. We will head to the bottom of the 5th with Lake Central leading 2-1 over Munster. You're following Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Some see a wrestling match. We see a 6-minute lesson in grit. Some see a coach sending a runner home. We see a mentor guiding a student athlete into the future. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Bottom of the 5th inning, where Munster will try to ignite a rally, trailing 2-1. Sheehan, Almager, and then O'Connor due up 8, 9, and 1 in the order for Munster. Sheehan struck out looking against Such in their first meeting in the 2nd inning. They'll do it again here in the 5th. She tries to lay down a bunt, but it bounces away foul on the third base side. Leo Staudaher with you on the call. Zach Zanelli and Aaron Svetlin rounding out our crew. Our management team led by executive producer Chris Ramirez, Rich Castillo, and Mike Dewan, making things happen here as our postseason softball coverage begins tonight. The 0-1, a bunt laid down by Sheehan. Getting to it is the third baseman Tripp. She throws to first in time to erase Sheehan. Well defended by Lake Central for out number 1. So Sheehan tries to knock down the bunt. She plays it towards third base where Tripp gets to it, throws to first where Van Vossen covers the bag to record the out. For the first out, here's Maya Almager. She shows bunt as well, but it spins inside. So that will make the count. Looking for the signal. I believe it'll be a 1-0 count. It will be. Such goes to the plate. The 1-0 swinging and fouled down the first baseline. Bounces foul towards the Munster dugout, evening the count up at a ball and a strike. So Almager struck out swinging in her first at-bat against Such. Such has been on the mark with her command this game after a turbulent first inning that saw a run score. She has locked in since. Now a bunt played by Almager. Such gets it at the circle, throws to first where Van Vossen is there to make the play. So back-to-back attempted bunts by the Mustangs have resulted in groundouts. That's the thing about this Lake Central team. They are a very solid defensive group, especially when things are put in the infield. You have several multi-year starters, whether that's Tripp, Iwema, Van Vossen, Beals, and even Such at the circle. As the next pitch by O'Connor, she cracks it towards center field, but going back to the trap is Urbanski in center field to make that one, the catch just shy of the wall. O'Connor sent it to the deepest part of the bark, and it falls about a foot short. It's a fly out to end the inning in 1-2-3 fashion. We are through 5, Lake Central hanging on to a 2-1 lead. You're following Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I've received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
Lexi Iwema will lead off the 6th inning as the Indians lead 2-1. Could use an insurance marker here in the 6th inning after to put a bow on that play to end the 5th inning. It was O'Connor batting. Got a hold of a pitch from Such. The 1-0 from Compton is outside for a ball. Got a strong swing, and perhaps the deepest piece of contact of this game went towards the fence at center field, just about a yard short of going past the fence for a home run, but instead it ends up in the glove of Urbanski for a lengthy flyout to end the inning. And that's the way it goes on the diamond sometimes. You get a great swing on a pitch, but it ends up in the glove of a defender. But instead, sometimes it's those weaker pieces of contact that find a gap and put a runner on base. The 3-0 pitch to Iwema is outside for a ball, so she's on base for the first time today. We'll see what the Indians can do with Iwema on base and Tegan Tripp, who was the hero earlier in this game with a 2 RBI single, will step in to bat. That 2 RBI single put the Indians ahead 2-1, and they could use a boost here with the Mustangs, a good offensive group. You know, they won't go away easy. And the first pitch called a strike to Tripp. So she's behind 0-1 in the count. Tripp lined out to third base to start the second and then brought in 2 with a single in the third. She skies the 0-1 pitch to the right side of the infield where the second baseman Almager will call for it and makes the catch in shallow right field. That is the first out of the inning. Good communication by Almager, especially with Bochenik in right field racing in to call for it and make the catch with plenty of time. So the runner at first base is Iwema. There's one out. Maddie Such, the pitcher for the Indians, will bat here. Such singled in the second inning, flew out to center in the third. Waits for the 1-0 pitch from her counterpart, Compton. swings above it. It was a rise ball, and she was just on top of it. So that will even the count at a ball and a strike. Such batting .494 on the season. Again, gets the rise ball at the 1-1 count, but can't get it. Makes it a 1-2 look. Such with 34 RBIs. Works with Iwema at first base. Could increase that total here. Now the 1-2. Fouled just off the bat. Fouled to the backstop. Such stays alive. But Such, one of the top pitchers in the state, you certainly can't discount her batting as well as those numbers. Very impressive. Batting out of the 5 spot here for Lake Central. Now the 1-2. Such gets under it, and it curls foul towards the right field bullpen, where a Munster fan nearly makes the one-armed catch, but it falls out. And he made a good move, backed up on it, extended the right hand, but then just couldn't quite hang on to it. It falls away. So it's just a long fly ball by Such. But you have 2 hands for a reason. You got to use that left hand then to bring it in. The 1-2 is outside. We go 2-2. That nearly a good play made by that fan on the right field side. But we will play on here. So with the count even at 2 apiece, Iwema's at first. There's 1 out in the inning. Such takes the 2-2 for a ride towards right field, but Bochenik will backpedal and get to it. Makes the catch for out number 2. So Bochenik able to handle that one for out number 2. And now it'll be up to Sophia Beals batting with 2 outs, a runner at first. Lake Central leading 2-1, but could certainly use a boost here in the form of a potential insurance run with Munster. Some dangerous bats throughout their lineup. You can't discount them. On the next pitch to Beals is outside for a ball. Beals, one of the seniors in the lineup for Lake Central, with a very veteran group for LC compared to a younger upperclassman-led Munster team. The 1-0 is low. Called a strike, actually. Called a strike. Evens the count at 1-1. Beals, Roosevelt University commit. Will be playing for the Lakers next season. The 1-1. Low, and the throw down towards first base. Iwema slides in to make it back in time. So the count 2-1. Two balls and a strike to Beals. Compton winds and fires. Beals knocks it foul towards the Lake Central dugout, which will even the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Iwema was starting to sprint out of the first baseline to try to advance, but she'll have to go back, and with good speed, we'll see if Beals can swing and get Iwema on the move here. Compton awaits the 2-2. Here it is. A fastball just outside will make it a full count. That was close to the outer third. Compton and many of the Munster fans thought that was strike 3. But they will play on. The count goes full at 3-2. The payoff pitch drops into the zone. That will be strike 3. It ends the inning. So after the leadoff runner reaches, the Indians can't advance her. We will head to the bottom of the 6th inning with Lake Central leading 2-1. Stick around. You're listening to Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
IBEW Local 697 isn't just wiring buildings. We're woven into the very fabric of Northwest Indiana. We're your neighbors. Our kids go to school with yours. We stand in the same bleachers cheering for the same high school teams. When you hire a union electrician, you're not just getting the highest quality work. You're supporting our community. IBEW Local 697, proudly powering our own.
Sometimes the hardest part of improving your business isn't coming up with a great idea. It's knowing what to do with it. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services is ready to meet all your industrial and commercial construction needs. Whether it's a small build-out or a complete construction project, Chester will design, build, and finance. Our team eliminates multiple contractors, providing you a single point of contact while staying within your budget. Chester Inc. Architectural and Construction Services, turning your ideas into realities.
Allie Compton leads off the last of the sixth inning for Munster. She rolls one to third base, where Tripp makes a nifty play, reaching across her body to scoop it up, and then puts it in her throwing hand, throws over to first on the money to retire Compton. Nicely done by Tripp. She didn't have much time to wait back on that one. Fields well at third base to make the first out to Compton. And now for Munster, the chances starting to dwindle down to 5 remaining outs, trailing 2-1 here in the sixth inning as Caroline Wendlinger bats. She had the RBI single in the first inning, and it's been really few opportunities since then. Just one base runner since the first inning for Munster. The 0-1 pitch to Wendlinger is just outside for a ball. Such has been really sharp with her command, keeping the base paths quiet with a single in the third inning by Wendlinger, but she's been the only base runner since that first inning. She takes the 1-1 high and foul behind the press box and off the shed to make it a 1-2 count. Wendlinger with 2 of the 3 hits for the Mustangs with that RBI single in the first inning and then a single in the third. Now the 1-2 pitch is outside for a ball to work the count even at 2-2, but Such has been in a good rhythm. We'll see if Wendlinger, who's had her number today, can break up that rhythm. Such brings the 2-2 to the plate. Wendlinger gets it off the end of the bat, floats it in the air to the right side of the infield, but Van Vossen will range in and makes the catch for out number 2. And that's something of note, too. There hasn't been much fly ball contact in these last few innings. There was the long fly out to center field to end the 5th, and that's just the 3rd fly out of the game. 2 to second base, 1 to center by Munster. As the next one, a swinging and missing pitch to Tristan. But so what that tells me is Such is getting Munster to swing on top of a lot of pitches, meaning they're not able to really drive too many of these. She's keeping it on the ground. The 0-1, outside for a ball. We go 1-1. So you take a lot of ground ball contact and combine that with 8 strikeouts. It's been a good recipe for Such in the circle. The 1-1 is fouled to the fence, to the backstop, the fence of the backstop, to make it a 1-2 count. So Such has been really able to keep these Munster bats in check after they were able to strike first in this game. Were able to drive in a run in the first and maybe had potential for more. The 1-2 is outside. We go 2-2. And I think back to that, the play where they did score the run, the RBI single by Wendlinger, Wainwright made an outstanding play to throw out the extra base runner in Compton, and that helped take away some of the momentum from Munster. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's high and away. We go full at 3-2. But so Lake Central has really made Munster have to work here. Even as you go back to the inning, they scored the run, and they were able to take away that extra player that was on base. Here's the payoff pitch. 3-2, fouled to the backstop. Tristan got a little bit inside, tried to swing, and just eats her up just above the hands and fouls it to the backstop. So the count remains full at 3-2. So Tristan, the freshman, playing first base today, working against the junior right-handed pitcher, Such. Now the payoff pitch. 3-2. It's low and away for ball 4. It's a 2-out walk for Tristan, giving the Mustangs some life with the tying run on base and Kaylee O'Connell up to bat. And Wainwright will step out to the circle to talk things over with her, the infield group. We'll have a meeting for Lake Central as it seems to be talking with the infielders over maybe what to do depending where the ball is hit, or maybe just keeping things loose. That was one of Yvette Tovar's keys to the game, pregame, is living postseason softball, one pitch at a time, and playing loose. And that seems to be what's been working for Lake Central. And so many of these clutch moments, you can tell they're not overthinking things, that they're not letting things unravel here when there have been runners on base, when they've been in deep counts, 2-out spots at the plate. They've just been able to have a relaxed approach and do whatever has been necessary today to get ahead. Olivia Andreessen will step in as a pinch runner, a courtesy runner at first base in place of Tristan. With 2 outs in the inning, you need any possible advantage, and they'll count on the senior speedster over at first base. Such sends her first pitch to O'Connell, who skies it foul towards the bleachers. She'll fall behind 0-1 in the count. The 0-1 to O'Connell. She skips it to shortstop. Iweema's there. She fires to first base, and that will wrap up the 6th inning. A 6-3 ground out from Iweema to Beals. The Mustangs will leave a runner stranded as we head to the 7th inning. You're not going to want to go anywhere as we head to the 7th with Lake Central leading over Munster 2-1. It's softball night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
You ready? Let's go. Yeah. For those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name.
Your future starts
here.
Addie Michelinas will be called in off the bench as a pinch hitter to start the 7th inning. Lake Central looking to try to potentially add to this lead. They'll call the number of Michelinas, the freshman. We've seen her in and out of the lineup throughout this year, so Michelinas steps in for her 14th at-bat. She has 5 hits, 3 triples on the year, so if she can get on base, she can fly. And she'll try to do something here with her team leading 2-1. But it's been a well-pitched game between Compton of Munster and Such of Lake Central. 4 hits for the Indians at the plate, 3 for the Mustangs. Base runners have been hard to find here. Compton deals a strike to Michelinas to start the count 0-1. Michelinas batting in place of Wilkins in the 7 spot here. Ramirez and Urbanski will follow. Michelinas skips it deep to shortstop. Sheehan gets to it, throws over the first, but Michelinas beats it out. She flies down the first baseline for an infield single. Starts the 7th with a base runner for the Indians. Good hustle by the freshman to reach base. And that will bring Callie Ramirez up to bat. Or it will not be Callie Ramirez. It will be a new batter. And so the bunt by the pinch hitter is tapped foul, so the bunt attempt goes over the fence and out of play. So Ava DeNormandy will bat for Lake Central with the count 0-1. So DeNormandy batting in place of Ramirez. So DeNormandy with a take works the count even at 1-2. So DeNormandy waits for the pitch from Compton. Check swing. Did she go? She did for a strike. That will make it a 1-2 count. So DeNormandy batting with Michelanis at first base. So DeNormandy brought in off the bench just like Michelanis. Looking for a similar result here. She will call time. And the Lake Central players being told to get back into the dugout, a little too excited over at the third base side. So the count 1-2 to DeNormandy after Michelanis reached on an infield single. Here's Compton's 1-2 delivery. It's outside for a ball to even the count at 2-2 to the left-handed batter. DeNormandy bats with Urbanski on deck. Lake Central leads 2-1, but could use an insurance run here in the top of the seventh inning. The 2-2 pitch. A big swing from DeNormandy, but she can't get to it. She misses for strike 3. That's the first out of the inning for Compton and the Mustangs. Now Piper Urbanski bats. Compton records her 10th strikeout of the outing. She has been excellent in the circle, but in a position where she would be the losing pitcher in this game, which does not seem fair, but that's the way it goes after a 2-run inning for Munster. And then Urbanski tries to bunt, but it lands foul between the catcher Wendlinger and the third baseman O'Connell. 6th year in a row that Lake Central and Munster have met in the state tournament. Lake Central has won the last 5. They're looking to make it 6 in a row. The 0-1 to Urbanski. She waves through it for a strike. 0-2 the count now. And for Munster, trying to find a way to flip the script. They trail 2-1 here. You have to think for these players, that's in the back of their minds as Compton and company looking to execute a scoreless top of the inning, and then we'll need to try to walk it off in the bottom half of this 7th inning. Here's the 0-2 to Compton. It's outside for a ball. We go 1-2. If you look at the 4A coaches poll, Lake Central, the top team in said poll. Munster in the 15th spot. The winner gets to face the second team in that poll, Crown Point, tomorrow. Urbanski taps it to third base. It's scooped up by O'Connell. She throws to first base, but Urbanski beats it out for an infield single. That was a quick play at third base. O'Connell was charging in, scooped it up with the glove, transitioned to her right hand, threw a dart to first base, but good speed from Urbanski to beat it. Now there are runners at first and second. First and second for Lake Central with the top of the order up. Here's Michaela Van Vossen, and we will see some discussion between Jill Perez and the umpire on the base paths, maybe discussing what she saw on that save call. It was very close at first base. Urbanski flying down the line to leg out an infield single. We saw Michelanis reach with an infield single in this inning, and then Urbanski with a much closer one to make it runners at first and second. Only one out in the inning. So here is Michaela Van Vossen, who's been quiet today, 0 for 3, but one of the top hitters in the Lake Central lineup. You know she could break through. Van Vossen bats left-handed against Compton. Top of the order up for Lake Central. They lead 2-1. The first pitch from Compton is a strike at the corner. So for Compton, looking to find a way to work out of trouble with runners on base, only one out. Here's the 0-1, a big swing from Van Vossen, but she swings under the rise ball from Compton. She's behind 0-2. Compton been dealing in the circle with 10 strikeouts. Can she get another one here? The 0-2 pitch to Van Vossen is outside for a ball. Makes it a 1-2 look. Good take from Van Vossen. She is the program record holder for walks in a career at Lake Central. Now the 1-2. Van Vossen swings through it for strike 3. The 11th strikeout for Compton. And it's a big second out in this inning. Now it's up to Maddie Wainwright with runners at first and second. Wainwright and Compton, a pair of Indiana recruits, battling here. Wainwright 1 for 3 on the ball game with a run scored. She reached on a single in the third inning. Wainwright lofts it in the air, a shallow second base side where Almager will get to it for out number 3. So the Indians threaten with a couple runners on base but leave them stranded. We will head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Can Lake Central get the job done, or will Munster be able to rally? Stick around. You're watching Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
With offices in Munster and Cedar Lake, Ethos Dental Group offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, dental care you can believe in.
Looking to score great deals on sports and fitness gear? Shop local at Play It Again Sports Maryville. We have new and quality used equipment for baseball, softball, golf, hockey, fitness, and more. Plus, turn your old gear into cash on the spot or create your own discount with store credit for even better deals. Whether you're training, competing, or just getting started, your locally owned Play It Again Sports keeps you in the game.
Bottom of the 7th inning where Lake Central leads over Munster 2-1. Maddie Such has been outstanding in the circle with just 3 hits against and 8 strikeouts. She needs 3 outs to go to help the Indians get a sectional semifinal win. She will have to face the 6, 7, and 8 hitters in the Munster lineup, Tovar, Bochenik, and Sheehan. Here we go, 7th inning. This certainly has lived up to the hype of a battle between 2 ranked teams in the state tournament. Such fires in a strike to start the count 0-1 to Tovar. She's 0 for 2 today with a pair of groundouts. The 0-1 cued towards first base. Beals gets to it and then races over to first to step on the cushion for out number 1. So that's the first out of the inning. 2 to go. The batter now, Caitlin Bochenik. For the winner of this game, it doesn't get any easier. You have to face the second-ranked team in the state in Crown Point. So that will be a battle in the sectional championship. Lake Central fell to the Bulldogs in last year's sectional title game, as Crown Point would then go on to win the state title. We'll have a pinch batter here. It looks like that will be Callie Rybicki. Rybicki up to bat with the game on the line here. The first pitch will be up in the zone, or up to the batter for a ball. So Rybicki batting with 1 out and nobody on base in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the 1-0 from Such. Sends one right down the middle for a strike. Good fastball from Such. Will even the count at a ball and a strike. The 1-1 from Such, fouled to the fence. Count goes 1-2. This has been an outstanding game tonight, and certainly the story starts with the two pitchers, Compton from Munster, Such from Lake Central. They have both been very precise with what they've wanted to do here and have been able to rack up the strikeouts. The 1-2 carries foul and out of play. Can Such keep things rolling? Needing 2 more outs to go the distance and get the win here. She is 12-1 on the season with almost 120 strikeouts. The 1-2 just misses high and away, evens the count at 2-2. With 8 strikeouts today, she's brought her season total to 118. The count even at 2-2 to Rybicki. The 2-2 is upstairs for a ball. The count goes up 3-2. So Rybicki, representing the tying run, has worked the count full. Can she reach base and provide some hope to this Munster group? Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Such brought the heat. Rybicki tried to get to it, couldn't catch up. It's the 9th strikeout for Such, and now Munster down to their last hope with Caroline Sheehan batting here, the senior, playing shortstop today, trying to reach base and keep this game going. Sheehan batting against Such. The righty Such sends one to the lefty Sheehan. It's in for a strike. Sheehan was stepping in, looking to swing, but then didn't bring the bat forward. But it was called a strike. Actually, it'll be a pinch hitter, Eleanor Wendlinger, batting for Munster. She swings and misses, so she's behind 0-2. The Mustangs down to their last strike. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, down by a run in the bottom of the 7th inning. With the season on the line, can Wendlinger step up here? Such winds, goes to the plate. The 0-2 is outside. A take from Wendlinger makes it a 1-2 count. So the senior Wendlinger bats here. A ball and 2 strikes. Such looks for the sign. Her next pitch. She swings through it for strike 3. That will do it. Lake Central defeats Munster 2-1, and they will go to the sectional title game for a meeting with the Crown Point Bulldogs tomorrow evening. But they get the win, 2-1 over their rival Munster. Maddie Such goes the distance, ends the game with her 10th strikeout of the outing to get the win and close this one out. What a game this was. It's a shame that Munster has to end their season, as they played a great game as well tonight, but that's the way it goes in the state tournament. Munster ends their season with a record of 20-12 on the year, while Lake Central improves to 26-2. They will face Crown Point for a 3rd time this season. We will have the coverage for that sectional championship game. First pitch at 5 o'clock tomorrow. We'll have some post-game awards to hand out momentarily, so we'll take a quick break. So stick around after that. You are following Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At Blyce, we're used to having the athlete shop at our store.
Down, sit, put.
But sometimes they get carried away. Blyce, this is where the athlete shops.
Located in the heart of downtown Indianapolis, the newly renovated Hampton Inn is within walking distance to over 30 restaurants and attractions, including Lucas Oilfield and Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a fitness center. Why wait? Make your reservations today. Call 317-261-1200 or make them on the web at hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
9, 10.
Get Pulse technology on your team. Hit a home run with our managed print and copier services, IT and technology solutions, office furniture and design services, office supplies, scoreboards, and AV solutions.
We're back at Lake Central to put a ball on this one after it was the Indians defeating the Mustangs of Munster 2-1 in a thriller here in the sectional semifinal game. It is Lake Central winning to move on to the sectional final tomorrow night, and that should be a great matchup as you have the two top teams in the 4A Coaches Bowl, the top-ranked Lake Central Indians and the second-ranked Crown Point Bulldogs meeting for the third time this season. With the winner going on to the regional round. So you will certainly want to tune in for that one. But let's recap this one here, starting with some post-game awards. It's time to name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crowell Companies have offices open from 9 o'clock to 7 o'clock Monday through Friday and Saturdays until 2 o'clock in Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City. I don't think there's much doubt about this one. The Crowell Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game tonight was, from the Lake Central Indians, Maddie Such, going the distance to pick up her 13th win of the season. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits against, 1 run. She walked just 2 batters and struck out 10. Also at the plate, Such had a single, so she made her mark on this game, going the complete game to get the win. In spectacular fashion, a well-pitched game from Such to help the Indians keep things moving for their 26th win of the season. Now it's time to name the blue-collar player of the game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Boilermakers Local 374, learn about apprenticeship programs and more at local374.org. The blue-collar player of the game tonight was, from the Munster Mustangs, it was Allie Compton, the pitcher as well. She also went the full 7 innings with 5 hits scattered throughout those. She allowed just 2 runs, walked 2 batters, and struck out 11. It was a pitcher's duel here, and I was really impressed with how Compton was able to pitch her way with runners on base, leaving, looking down the line, 2 runners stranded in the second inning, 1 runner stranded in the third, 1 in the 5th, and 2 in the 7th. She just continued to pitch well, keep her team in this game when the Indians had rallies going and looked as if they could have added to it. But it was Compton who pitched outstanding as well. It's kind of a tough luck loss for Compton, as this was a great game by both starters. So Compton picks up the blue-collar player of the game accolades. Now it's time to name the proud-to-be Union play of the game, presented by Ironworkers Local 395. To find out how you can become a Union Ironworker, visit ironworkers395.com. And tonight's Ironworkers 395 play of the game was, we'll wind it back to the 3rd inning, as it was Tegan Tripp, the Virginia Tech recruit, up to the plate. She was able to drive in 2 runs with 1 swing of the bat, got a good knock on this one, driving it towards center field, where it was able to chase in Wainwright and Urbanski, and that was all that the Indians needed. 2 runs with 1 swing of the bat from Tripp. They would go on to win 2-1. So the senior Tripp steps up when her team needed her most to get the go-ahead run there. So that was tonight's Ironworkers 395 play of the game, presented by Ironworkers Local 395, Union Strong. Now it's time to thank everyone involved with this evening's broadcast. To our management in sports, executive producer Chris Ramirez, Rich Castillo, Zach Miller, and Mike Dewan. To our broadcast crew, Zach Sinelli doing an outstanding job producing, keeping things on the up and up. To Aaron Svetlin capturing all the action on camera. And to the coaches from each side, Lake Central's Yvette Tovar and Jill Perez of Munster. The athletic directors from Lake Central, Chris Enyart and Mike Schultz of Munster, and to our viewers across all of our platforms, whether that be the IHSAA Champions Network, regionsports.com, YouTube/Region Sports, or Facebook/Region Sports Nation. A reminder that you can find tomorrow's game between Lake Central and Crown Point at all of those platforms as well. First pitch is scheduled for 5 o'clock. We'll probably go on air around 4:45 with the pregame coverage. You'll want to tune in for that one. But until then, I'll talk to you next time. This is Leo Staudaher thanking you for following Softball Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
This broadcast is made possible by Strachan Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Ironworkers Local 395, proud to be union. Four Seasons Mechanical, quality and comfort is our guarantee. Boilermakers Local 374, earn while you learn. IBEW Local 697, proud to support high school sports. Bricklayers Local 4, the best hands in the business. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. Blythe's Team Sports, where the athletes